I forgot what I was going to say now. Welcome to the first ever episode of Inside NuLife. It's wet, it's cold, but we're still going. This week, we visit a warehouse project in Liverpool and Jay buys the lads some mince pies. That gives us one more week before Christmas to get all that done in there. Oh, we've got a view of city. Oh, right there. Hiya, where are you? Above the welfare? On the second floor? So you're not above the reception area, are you? All right, right there. Today we're on site in one of our current projects in Liverpool. On this site we're doing a lot of wood floor restoration, a lot of concrete polishing and bringing back the natural beauty of these old floors. It's a lovely project. They're going to turn it into some offices, but it's an old building, it's listed a lot of it, so we've got to restore the original floors, the original surfaces which are down. The building itself is early 1800s. It's been a load of things over the years. It's been a newsroom, it's been a library, it's been storage area for your wine merchants, and now the current owners have turned it into an amazing open plan office working space, which is just going to look super cool when it's done. Trying to keep the rustic look of it, trying to keep some of the original features, which is just going to be amazing. And some of it's listed, so we've got to be really careful when restoring it. So the stages of this job are broken down into phases. There's about 4 or 5 phases going on over the next number of months. Wood floor restoration, concrete polishing is in the early phases. Then we've got some terrazzo and then back onto wood floor restoration in the later phase of the job. But basically we're going floor by floor, taking each floor surface on different levels and restoring them, finishing them off, then protecting them for future trades to come in afterwards. This is one of the areas that we've just recently finished. You'll see how we've restored it and given it that rustic look, which the client's looking for, but it just looks amazing. It's got a few patches here and there of where repairs have been done over the years from the wood point of view. We've still got a couple of areas which need to be patch treated and repaired, but as an overall finish it gives you the sort of look that we're looking for, and it looks like it's been restored, but it looks old and historic at the same time. To get it to this stage, we've used a planetary machine with some quite aggressive diamonds on there to remove the screed covering, which is a weighted machine about 140 kilos, which has taken all that hard screed and resin compounds off the surface of the wood. Then we got down to the wood, obviously because it's quite damaged, we've had to use a 16 grit abrasive on the belt sanders going up to 24, 36, 60 to create this rustic look, but we've had to take the wood back to literally trashed to bring it back up again to the lovely finish that we've got now, and from that point on it's created just an amazing look. You'll see a couple of repairs that have been done historically over the years, and we've got some more repairs to do with our plate boxes to put it on here, but generally overall the process of taking it from being a covered wood with screed and all sorts to this finish has been an amazing sort of 5 or 6 step process. Hard work from the lads, but well worth it. Obviously plates on the boxes, but then there's some bigger areas over there, both sides. Soak it in the acid overnight. We're going to be covering these with metal plates, aluminium plates, which just finish it off and give it that rustic look and sort of warehouse feel, which is what the client's going for. There's a lot of damaged sections in the floor, a lot of them where they've had a lot of the old historic plug points underneath the floor, and some sections like this where there's obviously been some sort of door in. So the remit from the client was to secure some plates over them like this, which we've had made and had designed and cut a lot of the time to the exact shape, just to fit over the sections. And then what the request was to make them look more rustic and more oldie warehouse type feel. So we then had, we literally had abraded them with some wire wool, soaked them in some acid overnight, took them out of the acid bath and let them get some air for a few hours afterwards, which turned into this lovely rustic feel. So we're taking these original plates that we've had made and manufactured to the perfect size with the right screw holes in, and the end look is to have them looking like that in the floor, which is going to blend in lovely with the restored pitch pine floorboards. The remit of these plate ideas is just is to mix it up a little bit. So there's a lot of the areas where we're doing wood repairs and we're replacing with reclaimed pitch pine. But these plates, because there are so many square boxes, just to mix it up, and it's going to look so cool when it's done. I can't wait to show you this project at the end. So, next stage. So what she's just said is we can't start that boardroom this week. We'll concentrate on getting this done, but the first week back in January, she wants that fireplace room bit.
Next to the boardroom.
Yeah, the fireplace bit starting. You know where she wants that bit, but then this carrying on. All right, so it'll be done by Wednesday night, then, won't it?
Oh yeah,
Okay. What?
It's not even in the ballpark area. I mean, I don't know what he was expecting cost-wise.
Well, that's the end of that then. That's no problem. So I mean, we're not. You know,
I mean, there's no point in going back in.
No, definitely not. No.
Debate. It's not worth it.
No, definitely not. So that happens quite a lot as well. You know, somebody wants a job doing, they come to us to do it, and they just let you know. It is what it is. Within most industries, there's people that are cheap. There's people that are middle of the range, and there's people that are expensive. And we are on the higher priced side of things. I've no problem in saying that to people. We are one of the most expensive companies around for what we do, and people either want to pay for quality, or in this instance here, I think the client was looking at selling the house, so maybe they didn't want to invest in as much as what we need to do and what our process was for doing the floors. So some you win, some you lose, but you know, it's all good in the end.
So this morning what we're going to do with the lads, we've set up a scaffold at the back of the property. We've got our trailer mute, which is going to give us access to the front. And as you can see already, really heavy moss growth on this roof, which is extremely detrimental to the tiles. So what we're going to do, we're going to scrape the roof. We're going to get rid of all the big growth. So that'll enable our soft wash treatment to really penetrate into the moss growth, into the grooves of the tiles. And once it starts working and killing off the moss, then we'll rinse it and the roof will be totally clear of organic growth, and it'll be as good as nearly new. So once we've scraped the roof and we've got rid of the moss growth, we'll be using our soft wash truck, which we will apply our Trinity mix, which is a combination of surfactant, alkali solution and bleach, sodium hypochlorite solution in the correct dosage, safe, environmentally friendly, and we'll be applying that from our truck mount system here, which will be low pressure, so it won't be detrimental to the tiles at all. We won't be touching the roof. We'll be just applying low pressure from the MUPE and from the scaffold at the back of the property. We'll let it work, probably give it 24 hours, and then we'll come back and we'll use our bulk rinse, which again is low pressure, which then, once all the moss and organic growth is killed, that'll rinse it off and leave the roof clean for the client. So also, as one of the other tools that we have at this moment is the gutter vac, the sky vac. So obviously when we've loosened all the moss, one of the things we want to make sure of for the client is that all the guttering is left clear and free running. So the gutter vac, sky vac, is a triple motor system. We've got all the attachments, carbon poles, extremely light for use from a distance and to get to the full apex of the roof. So we'll set that up, go up in the mute, make sure all the gutters are running free with the various attachments, the tools, so the client knows that even when we've finished, there'll be nothing blocking the drains. The soft wash will also act within the drain system itself, so anything that's further down the drain from previously will be cleared, cleaned and killed off. So the drains will be running free, so they'll have no issues once we're completed. So one of the things that we've found really handy is this trailer mounted nifty boom, which we can tow on our soft wash truck, which is ideal for residential property. Okay, it's limited for certain applications, but for this kind of residential property and the height, it's an ideal piece of kit. So we can work safely, we don't need any ladders, everything is compliant from a health and safety perspective. We can get up to the eaves and we can work to the full apex of the roof. We can utilise this as well as the scaffold at the back. Our guys are fully IPAF and PASMA trained. Health and safety plays a vital role in how we operate at Nulife, and this is a key for residential and commercial properties that we know we're working safely. We've got our guys' health and safety at the forefront as well as the clients. So what we'll do, we'll have a quick look here. Obviously the front of the property is ideal, we've got plenty of space for the mute, but one of the challenges we found early on was obviously the access to the rear of the property was a little bit restricted. So as you can see, we couldn't get a mute through here, which ideally we would have liked to have used on the back of the property. But if you come down here, what we can see, we should be able to access most of the front elevation and pitches with the mute. Again, that should give us plenty of access. And round the back, we have a scaffold set up. So again, you can see we've got the scaffold set up by the team, which gives us right up to the eaves. We can get up to the ridge tiles. We're scraping at this moment to get rid of the heavy moss growth, which you've already said, and then we'll be able to utilise the scaffold and we'll be able to rinse, soft wash treatment, and then rinse. And again, what will ensure is that the back of the property is left totally clear and clean, and that'll be this back elevation completed safely as well. We're at the very onset of the job. This is probably the more time-consuming, labour-intensive part of the process for the guys. But it is very, very important that we clear this roof of much of the heavy growth as we can. So we'll show you the progress through the week, and then have you come back later on in the week when we've soft wash treated everything, you'll see the amazing results we can achieve.
We've been in this job now for 6 weeks. The challenges so far, working with other trades, which is always a challenge. We're always the guys that are in the way because we're on the floor and no one can get above us or around us. But on this site, it's been great. We've been working on our own secure, sort of vented off area, if you like, to keep the dust under control. So that's been perfect. Other challenges like power. We always have challenges with power on site because we can only use 240 with our sanding machines. 110 is not powerful enough to run them. So we always have that challenge that we have to overcome. But these guys have been super helpful. So far, no major issues on site. It's been great. It'll definitely get challenging next year when more finishing trades are involved and we've got more people to deal with. But so far, so good. It's been a great site to work on. It's really safe. The health and safety is spot on. The facilities are great for the lads. All good. The sort of equipment that we're using on this job currently, we're using belt sanders from the point of view of sanding the original floors back. We're using heavier weighted planetary machinery to get rid of some surface screed that we've had problems with. And then we're using edging tools, corner machines, detailers, that sort of thing. All obviously industrial equipment that's powerful enough to get the job done to the best possible standard. What you'll see in here is a couple of machines that we use. So this is one of our belt sanders that will have a dust control bag on the front of it here. Over here we've got one of our dust control systems, edging units, which the guys are going to be going around with, doing a lot of the edging. So here, the belt sanders, for instance, really big chunky bits of kit. We're using the Palman sanding machine on this particular project. We've got 3 or 4 of these on here at the moment. Grit-wise, from an abrasive point of view, we're using 16 grit, which really bites into the wood and gets rid of a lot of this surface contaminants, like some of the screed and some of the surface roughness that's on there. And then we're going to go through 24 grit, 36 grit, 60 grit, finishing the floor off with what we class as the trio machine to get it ultra smooth. But at the same time, what we're trying to do with this project is leave a little bit of that rustic look. So some of it's a bit of a challenge really, because although you want to restore wood and make it look amazing, the request from this client is to keep it more rustic. So we've been finishing it off at different grits in different areas, trying to give it that sort of old rustic look. So yeah, the sanding machines, dust control units, like I say, is a big part of what we do. This room, the lads are just getting started on in here, but normally we'd have everything taped off and secured off and ready to go. So yeah, there's a lot goes into it, but when we get going, it works quite quickly. This is a slight concern because the roof's leaking and we can't restore the wood until we've finished with our bath. And a bath in an area where you're restoring wood is not a great thing to have. So yeah, there's a couple of challenges with the roof, but we know it's on the way to being fixed, and we know that it's okay, and we know that it's going to get sorted. It's just a case of working our project around getting in here when there's no leaks and the floor's dried out.
Welcome to the high life of Nulife. We're up in the cherry picker, in the mute. I'm going to look at what's the progress at the residential property in Cheshire. The roof clean. Hampered a little bit yesterday with the weather. It wasn't particularly kind to us. Raining, windy. Not fair on the lads, to be honest, but they've worked hard. We've scraped as much off as we can. We're in the treatment stage of the process now. As you can see from the back of the property, we've treated that, and that's already having an impact on the moss and the growth there. And we'll be doing the same on the front elevation now. So things are taking shape. And once we treat this today, then we'll be back again tomorrow to give it a good rinse, get rid of all this moss growth you can see in between the tiles, and hopefully we'll be seeing a massive difference by the close of play tomorrow. So as you can see from the tiles a bit more closely here, a lot of the heavy moss growth has been taken off. We've still got a lot in between the tiles. It's quite soily, quite soil based, this moss growth. So obviously we've taken the majority off. Once this is treated, it will kill the spores, make it easier to rinse tomorrow. The challenge and the difficulty will be getting in between these individual tiles. You can probably see it here. And on the ridge tile in particular, it's quite heavy. It sticks to the ridge tiles quite badly. So the rinsing process will be key in this, and hopefully it won't rain too much, which doesn't help with the solution that we apply, the soft wash solution, because obviously it'll rinse it off. But we'll probably treat it tonight, leave it, come back tomorrow, give it a rinse, and then retreat again with maybe a stronger solution. At this time of year, weather is a big challenge for us, but we'll get through it. The lads are working hard, and after the coffee breaks, of course, which they're entitled to, and I'm up here doing a bit myself. Not for long though. Okay folks, so what we'll do, we'll come back in a couple of days. Probably tomorrow is probably a bit too soon to see a marked difference, but we'll come back, look at the progress, see what we've achieved, and you can see close up the kind of results that we'll get on this moss covered roof. So stick with us and we'll show you the results soon. What have I got here? These? What, these 4-pack of mince pies for the lads that I bought, along with 2 coffees? not on expenses, courtesy of the benevolent quality and safety manager Nulife high class cleaning, specialised cleaning services. You could probably put a 2 in front of that, £2.29. It's a bit tight, isn't it, really? They've not even eaten them.
Okay, so we're back in the our Liverpool job, the warehouse job in Liverpool, and we're finishing off one of the floors that we were working on last week. We've done the sanding process, we've fully restored it. Niall's in here now, and hopefully going to get him to talk through the process that we're going through today. So we've put a base coat of primer on this wooden floor yesterday. We're putting a top coat. The first top coat of seal on today, second coat of top seal this afternoon. So we're using a 3-coat system, primer, 2 coats of topical seal. The floors have been fully sanded, restored, and have been sealed. So it looks great. You'll see a massive difference. Like I said, the client's going for the rustic look, so we're trying to keep it a little bit rustic, warehousey feel. But you'll see compared to what it was like the other day when we were here, when I think we were doing a little bit of edging on the floor to literally start it off, you'll see a huge difference from today. So sealing day today, job done.
So this is a seal, so this will be acts as a barrier to protect the wood. So eventually, after this coat, we've still got another coat to go. But this sort of like soaks into the wood, builds up a barrier, protects you from any potential scratches, further on down the line, any damage that comes to it. There's also a spare roller and pole down there if Mike wants to join in at any point now.
We've come across a problem this week. We were down to polish an area of concrete. We've discovered that it's not polishable, which is a big challenge because it's last minute. And we had a deadline to get this section of floor done before Christmas, but we've come across a problem, we've got to solve it. So as you might be out here downstairs, we're just literally taking this area of floor out. We're using jackhammers to take the floor out. And next year we're going to fill this with a polishable concrete screed. So we're going to fill it hopefully first couple of weeks back in January, give a lovely polished look on the concrete, and then finish off with some sealing treatment. So it was a problem, we've come across it, we've solved it. It's added a little bit of time to the job, but it's made the client happy, which is, listen, it's what we're all about, right? Good week, great week actually. We've completed a wooden section, which I really didn't expect would have been completed today by now. So that's a great bit of progress this week. We have come across the challenge like we've just discussed with the concrete, because we thought it's something that we were going to be able to polish and it wouldn't be a problem, but when we started doing some tests with the machines, it just wasn't suitable for polishing. So that was a challenge, like I've said, because of timing and completion dates on the project. But listen, we've come up with a solution for the client. We're going to take it all out, pour in that polishable concrete screed, and it's going to look great, it's going to look cool. It just adds a little bit of time onto the project. We're going to have to pour the screed, wait for it to dry and polish it up next year, but hey, the main thing is we've come up with the solution. Everyone's happy and good progress. So it's been a good finish to the year on that particular job. We've got some great results there this year. We've made great progress. I'm over the moon with the lads. They've done really well. Our health and safety has been spot on since day one. We knew there'd be some challenges with health and safety. We identified the challenges. We put things in place to overcome them, and it's been great. It's been a good site that we've been working on. Great progress. Great client. Our guys have done really well. So yeah, all in all, over the moon with the way it's gone. But we'll definitely be back there first week and give you another update of what we've got coming up for the first 3 months on that job next year.